Uh, I'm supposed to have come live a long time ago. The court case was 2 days ago, and I was thinking that I would have done something before now, but it's good that I'm doing it now. Anyways, I want to welcome you guys. It's been a while. Now, uh, I know we've been talking about so many things, and some of you too. It's evening here, anyways. Today is the 13th day of February 2025, and it is also a very um, 2 days after the court case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and we've seen the reactions. People have been saying so many things, but I want to say something based on my own and personal experience with the counsel to the Nigeria government. Um, I think I could, sometimes we need to, you know, understand this whole thing from experience, especially when you have an experience that is connected to some of the actors. It's been a very busy day, even if I'm looking very tired and all of that, and it's evening anyways. This should be, say, past 4 or so, or to 4, and Biafra time. I want to welcome you guys joining me right here. It's a very sunny day, and if you look at, as you can see, um, I'm seated around the bush place. In fact, I'm in the bush right now. Sometimes we need to do some things differently, and and being right here now, right now, I want to discuss or give us some knowledge from my own personal experience, especially around what transpired in court. Now, the court experience definitely was expected. If any of you think that, I know that most of us expected and what the Nigeria court, did on that day. The court session was called impromptu. It came suddenly, and then they wanted to just do what they have to do, the abracadabra, the way they do it, so that they could actually indict Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and then put him where they want him to be. And that has always been their way of operation and their modus. We are used to that. But every one of us can testify of his resilience, his doggedness, and his steadfastness in maintaining and standing strong on what he believes. And I know that that alone is encouraging and strengthening. That action, that he exhibited in court was very, very formidable, showing our resilience, showing that he's still standing on the path of truth and holding on to what he believes in. And I also believe that with that action alone, some of us have been strengthened, some of us have been encouraged, and some of us have, also, um, you know, taken a path of understanding, knowing that our leader is actually standing strong and holding forth. But we also have our role to play. But now, before I go into all of the details of the court processes and all of that, I want to look critically into the judicial process. I know that my settings can be unique to some of you. You've not seen me broadcast from a settings like this, anyways. But I'm in Biafra land, anyways, and I'm broadcasting right from the village. So definitely, for those of you who are saying they want to, those who are looking for me everywhere, who they're always thinking of where to get and who they want to kill and who they want to attack. I'm in Biafra land, so you can come look for me now. Uh, I'm in Biafra land, so you can come look for me. But anyways, that's not the issue. Anyways, let's go straight to this. Now, there is one aspect of it I want to look at, especially the lead counsel for the Nigeria government. That's Mr. Awomolo Adegboyega, the former son. Sorry, he's still a son. The former Attorney General of Osun State. I have, you know, what I learned from the last court session of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is so much. The reason why I said so is because um, from we have lots of impression and the impression people want to give to us about themselves and what they want us to believe about themselves and all of that. And sometimes when you come on TV, they are being granted interviews. People want to say things as if they are not the problem we have. Um, if you listen to most of these are lawyers, the legal system, um, the legal or the judiciary in Nigeria, they want to give you an impression that they are handicapped. They want to give you an impression that they are actually tied. The lead counsel, Awomolo, was displaying a high level of ignorance, and I'm looking for a better word to use because I know he's knowledgeable, and I don't think that ignorance is the word to use here because I know he is very knowledgeable and he knows what he's doing. I know that he knows the law very well, and he very much and so much um, is very aware of what he was doing and trying to indict Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on that day and make sure that illegality stands. Now, this is a man that I have been with several times in his office talking about issues that pertain to Nigeria. I've gone there to see him with my dad. I've gone there to see him with some other people, people like veterans, especially in the movie industry. I've gone with about two veterans of the movie industry, and I've gone to his office. And personally, too, I've gone to his office based on the fact that he's a patron to my organization and my NGO. Anyways, he's a patron to a project that I was trying to carry out in the in yeah, 2019 and 2020. So I've had several discussions with him, and the kind of impression that he gave me about himself, you know, talking against corruption, talking against the Nigeria system, talking against the several governments that have come in and the injustice, the evils going on, and several kinds of things that he has said against the injustice going on in Nigeria. And I felt that he is a very upright person. I had an impression. You see, in Nigeria, they know how to give you an impression about themselves. That is why it is not everything you see on media. People come on media, come to tell you stories. That is why sometimes I marvel at the way some of our people follow sheepishly, especially those who are following the criminals. Um, I've told you people over and over again that there's nobody that is worth following right now as long as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in detention. No one is worth following or listening to. The truth about it is that they have all given us impression, directly or indirectly, especially whether at the level of the DOS. I cannot vouch because I have said it several times that before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu got into where he is, there are people within that sold him. And for now, there had been no committee or a panel set to search out those who sold him. And so we cannot tell who is responsible for his situation. Therefore, we cannot um, follow anybody or listen to anybody right now. I am not saying that everybody on the platform of the DOS is corrupt or was responsible for what has happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Some of them might be ignorant, yes. Some of them might be suspecting, yes. Some of them know. Some of them are involved. Some of them collected money. Some of them were part of the deal. And so, since we don't know who, because nobody has set or nobody has. All right. So sorry about that. Sorry about that short and brief disruption. Now, so as I was saying, not every one of them actually. We can. I'm not saying that everybody on that platform is part of the betrayal and all of that, but I only say that we cannot follow anybody because we don't know who is part of the betrayal. So that's why I always tell people, your contributions, hold them to yourself. Your whatever it is, they tell you to contribute or to do anything or all of that, please hold to yourself. Of course, the same way also, I always talk about the Simon Ekpa and his group and his people and the criminality. At least that one, I was critically part of that system, and I know um, the things that went on there and the details of the criminality that was going on, until I was able to try to expose some stuff. And the more I tried to expose some of these evils, the more, you know, we're able to discover that they are criminals because they resisted. Imagine someone who claims to be upright resisting the truth. That tells you that he's a criminal and he had evil intentions. Anyways, um, all of these stuff, these are people who come on media every day, try to give you an impression about themselves, and some of you are sheepishly following, giving them your monies, contributing. Well, it's your money. If you want to give anybody your money, it's your business. If you want to contribute to anybody and enrich them, it's your business. But we'll keep telling you the truth and we'll keep guiding you and making you understand what is going on. But my concern here now, right now, is what happened in the court. I'm just trying to use it as a means of giving more narrative and information to you, that not everybody who comes on media and give you information and tell you anything, that what they tell you becomes true about what they are doing. For instance, we have lots of people coming in from the judiciary trying to give you an impression on legality of the actions in Nigeria, the things happening in Nigeria. Some of the politicians will come, grant interviews to TV stations and give you impression, tell you so many things, tell you about what is going on. Some of them will tell you about corruption, tell you about the evils going on, but they are actually part of everything and part of the evils going on. So these are the whole things we're looking at. And why am I coming to this conclusion? Now look at the man, Awomolo himself. Personally, he presided over some cases, even if he's also a patron to one of the projects I wanted to run, in the year before the COVID breakdown and all of that. And he presided over a particular case we have also, and all of that. I don't want to go into those details, but what I'm trying to say here is the man gave so much impression about himself as an upright lawyer, someone who stands for truth, someone who rebuffs anything corruption, anything criminality. He does not represent anything. I was telling some people that I'm going to do an article. I'm going to do an article and post it on social media so that people can read. I think an article can go a long way also to expose some of these things. Now look at this man coming up and giving an impression about himself, making me feel that he's upright, he is against corruption, he's unjust. I know when he was talking about the Buhari government and saying so many things about the corruption, he talked about Obasanjo's government, he talked about Jonathan's government and the criminality going on, and how he's thinking and believing that things have to change in Nigeria, and giving so much impression about himself as if he's not part of the criminality. Now you heard what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. Because of 300 million naira, he wants to indict and betray and nail a righteous man. Now, Awomolo tried to play around the law, tried to play around the law, you know, and he tried to play around the law against Nnamdi Kanu. He tried to manipulate the law, and all of you saw what happened. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was reading out the law to him and trying to make him understand. Even if we know he understands, he knows what the law says. He is knowledgeable about it. He knows the facts. He knows what it is. But yet he was trying to play some games, and at a point he began to talk about respect and all of that. We're talking about legality here. We're talking about being upright. We're talking about doing the right thing, and he's talking about insults. Respect and insult. Now, what is more insulting and what is more abusing, what is more annoying, that a son is trying to indict or trying to nail a righteous man with his criminal manipulation. And this is the same man who claims that he is upright. This is the same man who talked about the criminality in Obasanjo's government, talked about the criminality in Buhari's government, said so many things to my hearing, so many things, and here he is, as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, 300 million. Who knows whether it's more or less or more? it cannot be less because they will pay them good money. He was trying to play around. Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention for 3 years plus now, since 2021, and um, by June it will be 4 years that he has been there. And this man called Awomolo does not see that what he is actually doing is very, very evil against a man who has stood for his people, who is standing for his people, who has suffered injustice, who has suffered so much. But he wants to indict him. He wants to manipulate the law. He wants to manipulate the law against him. Those days I sit with him to discuss. He talks like a saint. He gives an impression that he's a saint. He tries to, that is what these people do. Anybody serving Nigeria, when they come to the media, they want to give you an impression. That is why I keep telling you people, don't just follow people because of what they are saying. Don't just follow people because of what they're saying. Awomolo gave me an impression about himself as a very upright man who does not stand for criminality. But look at what he wanted to do to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He was insisting that Binta Nyako would continue with the case, whereas she has recused herself. Whereas she has recused herself, not under duress, recused herself, but yet Binta Nyako Awomolo still is pressing that she presides over the case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is the same Awomolo that gave me an impression. At least, I'm not talking from the point of what they come on media to say. I'm talking about my personal experience with him. He was a patron to my project. He also was a patron to my organization. And we have had a case we have brought to him for him to deal and to handle for us. And he has handled the case for us. Now, the impression, now I am beginning to wonder, like I was telling, I was talking to my dad some hours ago. I told him, I said, because of what Awomolo did against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I am beginning to feel that that's our case, the way it went, and we were not able to get what we were supposed to get by law, according to what we got. I believe he played some backdoor games. I don't have evidence about it, I don't have a proof, but of course, how do you say it? What else do you say? What else would I say? Because the money involved in that our case also is so huge that I know that something has played behind, based on the fact that what is happening right now with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and what he's trying to do. Why would he be insisting that Binta Nyako sits on the case when she has recused herself? Why would he be insisting? What is so special about Binta Nyako sitting on that case or presiding over that case when she has recused herself? And by law, she doesn't have jurisdiction over the case anymore because she has recused herself. Why is he insisting? Now, you see, don't always follow people by what they tell you. Some of you are so gullible, some of us Biafrans are so gullible that whatever we hear, someone will come and shout and scream, we are doing this. And we're doing it for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They say, oh yes, he's fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Do you think that everybody who is talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu they're actually fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or they are true followers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? The only way you will know what they are doing or to test what they are doing is by the actions. By the actions. How can someone who claims to love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and is fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come and tell you that he has banned IPOB? And you don't see anything suspicious about it. He doesn't not even tells you that this person, something is wrong somewhere. The reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in detention is because of IPOB. The reason why he's locked up there is because they proscribed IPOB and said IPOB is a criminal organization, it's a terrorist organization. Now they are indicting him for terrorism because they said IPOB is a terrorist organization. And that is what they are holding him for. And somebody comes out and says he has banned IPOB because IPOB is a criminal organization. That's what he said. That's what Simon said. So which means he's indirectly telling the Nigerian government that he is in conformity with them. Now, I was listening to somebody who was, I think 2 days ago, Dr. Chidi was doing a space program on X. And I wanted to comment, I wanted to raise my hand to talk, but I don't know why it was not connected, I wanted to say something, especially when one of those Simon's henchmen came up to say something. He said that since Simon was locked up in detention, don't they see that criminality has increased in Biafra land? And I began to I was perplexed that someone was thinking that way, so myopic in their reasoning. Right now, I'm in Biafra land, and of course, I have gotten stories, gotten details of things happening all over the places. Now, the truth about it is that most of the men who have been operating criminally are Simon's men. Some of them left the ESN, joined him, and today they are operating criminally. Some of them also operating are not part of IPOB. They are not part of um, um, anybody you see operating is not part of IPOB in the first place, because some of them are using IPOB as a name to actually commit crime. But some of them who left IPOB joined Simon's men, and they went into kidnappings and criminality, armed robbery, and doing lots of evil. Some of them also, those of some people who are committing crime, don't belong to any of these groups. They are operating on their own, using the insecurity in the land as a cover, and using Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's situation as a cover. That's why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that if he is released right now, that insecurity will stop, because you know why? He has the key to stopping that. Anyways, we know that's a fact, but we know he's going to be released very soon. Nothing can stop it. Now look at it critically. Most of these people in the judicial, you have heard so many lawyers come up to say so many things, and you have heard most of them talking online. They will come on most channels, like channels, television, come to TVC, and come on political talks, and so many of the, so many parts of this station, and so many of these stations come to say so many things, come to talk about the corruption in Nigeria, come to give you an impression of the things going on, come to make you feel like they are saints, and that so many things are going wrong, that things must change and all of that. Give them opportunities. Some of them come to talk because they have not been given a deal by the Nigeria system. And some of them come to talk not because they don't have a deal, but they must play the Takia project or the Takia program. How? There is one thing about um, anywhere you find deception and corruption, there is an alibi or a game to deceive. The game of deception is massively a strategy in the hands of criminals, especially when it comes to things that have to do with controlling other people, controlling the minds of people, and all of that. The British Empire has used takia. Most empires have used takia. Of course, Islam calls it takia, but the rule of deception or the program of deception to keep people manipulated. So when you see people like Simon Ekpa and other people come online and telling you about, you know, and telling you about so many things like talking tough and making you think that they are fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, don't look at what they say, look at what they do. It is from the doings. First, we were looking at what they were saying. That was why I was working in the committee, because they were saying so many things. I didn't know what they were doing behind. But when they began to do things that were contrary to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu represents and contrary to the collective interest of the people, I stood up and I kicked against it. Now, you know why? What you do is what matters, not what you say. And some of you have been following based on what they say. Stop following based on what people say. Follow based on what people do. Today, we massively are following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because from what he is doing, we know that he stands for truth and justice. From his experiences, from the things that he's going through, and from what he's suffering right now, and what he's standing for. Now, some of you don't understand that what is happening to Simon is actually his criminality. I mean, can you imagine someone butchering our people, cutting the necks of our people like the way Fulanis do? These are things that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come online and talk about and condemn. That is what this person is doing. His men are killing people, butchering them like the way Fulanis do. That's what is happening. And I made this video because I wanted to give you people remind you people that sometimes we shouldn't go by what people say. And I'm using this as a means of bringing your mind back to knowledge. Bringing your mind back to knowledge. Let me tell you something right now, as I keep saying. The truth about it is that we still have the IPOB family, yes, operating everywhere. But the truth about it is that you should be cautious in your following. And I would advise, um, because I know that those who are funding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case now is not being funded directly from the IPOB purse, because people like Chinans and Co are against our law, and all of that, which means that it is actually not funded by from the IPOB purse. Now I'm beginning to wonder what the monies being contributed are used for. I'm beginning to wonder what monies are contributed. But anyways, I would not say, yeah. So but we cannot tell who is actually on the path of truth and who is actually saying the truth, because as long as what we expected for 4 years or going on 4 years, we cannot identify those people who are, or within IPOB, who actually are responsible for what has happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, then I don't see the reason why we should be contributing our monies. And I want to make you guys understand that where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stopped is where we are still at, and we have even a step backwards, because things need to be set again to come back to where he left it. Nothing is moving forward right now. Simon's group. Look at the other time I saw somebody was posting something about talking about look at them talking about getting, they have given you liberation, and they are busy constituting nuisance on social media. I don't like talking about those people, but sometimes I need to say some things about it so that our people can understand what is happening. You have to be wise. Not everybody who jumps on social media and comes and says anything, you're going to follow sheepishly. Look at Awomolo, who talked with me, and talked with me and my father, talked with me with some other people too. And sometimes I've sat personally with him, and he has said so many things about the corruption going on in Nigeria, and said so many things. Now look at him trying to manipulate the whole process against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because of 300 million, according to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, 300 million naira, according to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. Now, these are people who claim to be upright. They come up and say so many things and do so many things. You have to be careful the people you follow, not because they are saying everybody's calling. Not everybody who say Lord, Lord, Lord is actually standing on the path of truth. Not everybody who says Christ, Christ is actually on the path of Christ. Not everybody who says in the name of Jesus is actually following Christ. You should be careful about what people say. In fact, when people say what they say, you try to check out the fruits behind what they say. That's what you should do. That's why I pity most of those who are following Simon Ekpa, or up and down. Those who are following Ngozi, his co-criminal, the one I exposed about who being a Nigeria agent, and suddenly Simon drew her close because she was releasing money, then releasing so much money to Simon, and Simon was, overtaken by his greed and his selfish desires, and got himself and trapped by all these people, Oge, Nkere, and all these people. They were throwing money at him. He brought them all to the advisory board because of money. He was everywhere. They were everywhere. Whatever they say, all goes, you know. And when we try to advise him, he calls us criminals. That's how evil people are, not what they say. And anything he does, he tries to take glory. And anything he does, he tries to make you give an impression that he's doing it because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is incarcerated. All of these are just alibis. Don't follow people by what they say. Don't, because of the actions they take, and tell you that they are taking these actions because of so thing, or because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You now believe what they are saying. No, you should be careful. You should be very, very careful. So please be very sensitive, and that's why I'm making this video. Be sensitive, be wise, be smart. Don't be fooled. I know I keep telling people that when you find a smart Biafran, they are very smart. When you find the ones that are daft, they are very daft. Few are in between, but those ones in between are very dangerous and very deadly. Those ones who are in between sometimes play the game of double standards, and they are very evil and dangerous. You have to be very careful. Let's all be careful. Thank you so much for joining. Please share this video, let other people listen to it, and let other people also join. You have to be careful. That's the purpose of this video. The things you should know, that anytime you see the politicians come online telling you about how corruption has, and how some of these Igbo politicians who come online telling you and saying that they are fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's freedom. They are not actually fighting for his freedom. Tinubu cannot keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu there if the Igbo politicians have actually come with one voice to say that he should be freed. Tinubu cannot keep him there. So the reason why he's still there is because the Igbo politicians are holding him. And so whatever they write on media, social media, whatever they come on any network or any station to come and talk, or whatever interview they grant out there, trying to give an impression that they are fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, don't believe them. The same way also Awomolo himself trying to give an impression about he himself being against corruption. Now look at what he's doing, trying to indict Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and to frustrate the case and to keep him, in that part of injustice, and keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, subjugated, and against his own wish, trying to work against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's rights, trample on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's rights, trampling on his rights. These are the evil people we're talking about. So we all must be careful. We have to be careful. We have to be careful. Don't follow because people are talking. Don't follow because people are, our people. I've discovered our people, especially our Igbo people. They want to follow somebody who is talking tough. When you are talking tough, just like Simon will come and carry his sword and sit on his chair and then talk tough from the seat he has in Finland. Sorry, talks tough and try to give an impression that he's a hard man. We like following such kinds of people. But that's not what tells who is a hard man. Some people can be talking cool. You see the way Ojuku talks? Calm, cool. But he would have won the war. Some of you don't know he would have won the war if not for the British and the Russian and the Egyptian pilots, the Russian support and the British Portuguese support for Nigeria. Ojuku would have won that war. See the way he talks. Calm. So don't go for people who are making noise. Don't go for people who are making noise. Some of you are going because Simon talks tough and he wants to give you an impression that he's doing all of that because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is a big lie. And now he's locked up. By May, they're going to bring his case up. That guy is a criminal and he's going to go for it. He's going to suffer for the people he has killed, for the criminality, for the kidnappings, for the killings of our people, beheading our people, beheading a pregnant woman, beheading so many people. I have their videos of the things he has committed, the atrocities he has committed using people, Butuzo and Gentle, and all those people who are commanding his forces, for him. I have the videos of the criminality. We are keeping them waiting for the time, and he's going to face the consequences. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be out soon also, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also will deal with his matter very, very well. So I want to appreciate you guys. Sorry, just talking. I just have to do this video brief because I'm tired. It's been a long day. It's a live video, so and with I'm in the village, Biafra land, and maybe I should show you around so you can see the terrain. I just came to the bush area, to the farmland, cassava period. This is a cassava around a place. I just came into this area, this bush area, to make this broadcast so that we can feel the atmosphere of the village. Sometimes you just have to feel the village. So those who are saying they are looking for me to kill and all of that, I'm in Biafra land, so you can come look for me. Those of you who are doing juju and doing everything you are doing, however you are doing it, I am here in Biafra land. This is my fatherland, my father's land. This is my land. I'm here. So I'm standing on a path of truth, and I believe that the land is protecting me too, because I'm standing on the path of truth. Those of you on the path of truth, continue. Don't because of you want to get social media views, you begin to follow lies and pursue after criminality and follow after those whose intentions are just money. They want to get views using Simon's platform and all of that. They want to get views, so they just follow after criminality. Don't go after those people. Be on the path of truth. Follow the path of truth and make sure that you are doing the right thing. And I want to appreciate you guys. Continue to see. Let's keep praying for Mazi.